All right, everybody, welcome. Coach Eric here. I appreciate you giving me the time tonight to speak to you about the UGKA residential camp. I'm here to answer all your questions. I'm here to hopefully just talk to you about this. So any concerns you have, questions that you have, jump on in, please, at any time. Agenda tonight, I'm going to give you one slide with just some basic facts. Here's what the camp is. Bang, bang, bang. We'll get into the actual agenda Monday through Thursday. I'm sorry, Sunday through Thursday with our breakdown in regards to what is we're going to be doing. I'll quickly introduce the coaches that have agreed to be there. We have 9 at the moment, and we're still looking for like 2 more, and we're in conversations with them, by the way. And then what the next steps are, and then questions. You don't have to wait till the end to type in questions or to ask questions. I will say, if you do type it in the chat, I will wait to the end to read your question, just so you know. All right, guys, here's a couple of numbers for you. There are the dates. There's the location. You guys are going to go through 11 field sessions. The agenda has not been specifically determined. I'm going to be meeting with the coaches over the next couple of weeks and right up through June, to be honest with you. And we're going to come up with a curriculum. Essentially, the coaches, as for any returners here, they run the session. Each coach is going to run a session, and then everyone's going to go back to their groups and initiate that training. And if an older group gets through it and there are more advanced opportunities for that coach in that time allotted to speak to that session or speak to that topic, they can. If the younger group or a group that might not be getting it, it needs more time on a specific thing, we'll go at their pace. All groups are going to be broken down at first by age and sex. We will then, after day 1, start to move goalkeepers around to fit into their respective groups. I take that part very seriously. I don't care about age. I don't care about sex. I don't care. I don't like, if you are at that level, you should be training with that group. And I'm very comfortable saying that. And I feel as part of the goalkeeping position, you're always going to be competing, and you're always going to be competing with your friends. And that's just the reality of the situation. So after the 11 field sessions in Sunday through Thursday, we're also going to have 8 stretching and mobility sessions. We're going to take care of you kids. We want these goalkeepers to walk out of here not hurt, not like physically straining or have something wrong with them. We want them to walk out of there feeling great. And we're going to help them and introduce them to some stretching and mobility exercises for them to not only take home with them, but to understand the importance of why it's important to do it. And that'll be part of our weekly focus. We're going to have 4 classroom sessions. We're going to be actually in a library. We're going to have like rows set up, and we're going to be taking notes. Very similar to the UGKA weekly sessions that we conduct on Sunday nights. This is just going to be live. We're going to have 2 groups. We're going to break up younger and older. But nonetheless, that's something that we're excited for, because we put everyone together before, and it sometimes slowed the conversation down for the older kids and was over the younger kids' heads sometimes. So we've divided that up to make sure it's going to hopefully fit for everybody. Right now, we have got 10 coaches committed, in we're looking for 1 or 2 more. I love a low student-teacher ratio. I always have, I always will. I hate lines. Like, I don't expect your kids to ever be standing in a line. We have 65 goalkeepers attending. We have 2 fields, 2 dorms, 1 dining hall, and most importantly, 2 socials where we have fun. We let kids be kids. And I feel that's a big part of not only the camp thought process. They need to be able to socialize, have some fun, and just, again, act their age. And we try to accommodate that. Here's your schedule for the week. I'm not going to go line by line or cell by cell, but at the same time, I'm going to give you time to kind of read this. We are going to be by the time we meet again, and we will meet again in, say, June-ish, where it says field session number 1, field session number 2, I'm going to tell you exactly what the topic is. I'm going to tell you exactly who the coaches are coaching that. When it comes to the educational sessions or classroom sessions, I'm going to tell you exactly what the topic is. I'm going to tell you exactly who the coaches are. That is something that myself and the coaches are going to talk about together and come up with together. The end of the week, when we check out, that Thursday is fun. Parents, if you, just gonna let you know now, if there's an opportunity for you to kind of escape and get there and take in the goalie war tournament, and obviously the awards and final messages from coaches is always nice. But to see your kids compete, and if you even want to come at any time throughout the week, and I mean that, you are more than welcome to join us. The beauty of this school is, if you don't know about the Kiski Prep School, it's an all-boys school. It's in the middle of nowhere. And if you haven't been there yet, you'll figure that out and you're right in. And that's the beauty of it. I have 2 children myself who both will be attending this camp. They're going to be 12 and 16, or I'm sorry, 12 and 15, my apologies. But there's nowhere for them to go. And there's one road into the campus and there's one road out. So from a parent's perspective, I love this place because it's safe and it's small. The walk from the dorms, boys dorm, girls dorm, 100 yards apart, just so we all know. We do our morning stretch and mobility sessions right in the middle. There's a field. We meet there every morning and we do our stretching mobility sessions. The social, we have a place on campus where we're going to have these 2 socials. The first night on Sunday, kids are still getting to know each other. It's pool tables. We're going to have pool tables. We're going to have, what else is there? Ping pong. We have sugar board game. There's a TV. It's a huge, like a student center that we only have access to for these 2 nights. Good place for introductions, games to be had, just have some fun. On that Tuesday, Hawaiian theme. Wear your Hawaiian shirts, wear your crazy sunglasses, bring your straw hats. Kids have done it in the past, and it's a blast. It's just a lot of fun. The jersey swap. You know, you guys get sick of dealing with your jerseys from your township or your club teams, and you're like, what do we do with them? We're getting up by new pair. Bring as many jerseys as you want to get rid of. And we put them all on a table. And we let the kids if you bring 3 jerseys, you walk home with 3 jerseys. If you bring 1 jersey, you walk home with 1 jersey. But you basically go in there and we organize kind of like a draft from an NFL perspective, first pick in the draft, second pick in the draft. And we have fun with it, but kids walk out of there from Pennsylvania. My kid walked out last year, with a jersey from Tampa Bay. And it was just the coolest thing for him. So anywho, just something small that we do, have some fun. But hopefully you've had time also with me talking to go through this agenda, and I'll answer any questions on the agenda, obviously at the end, but if you need anything, please let me know. Here are your coaches at the current moment. A lot of ODP coaches, a lot of current and former college coaches. 2 of our UGKA students has kind of graduated to the We Want to Be Coaches department. And we thought that was awesome. If any of you are attending for the 2 or 3 times, you'll know these 2, Jarrett Scarlett and Maddox Anderson. Both have competed for not only the older goalkeeper of the week, both have also competed for the leadership goalkeeper of the week. And that to me is really important. And really happy to see these kids transition to that part. And I think that's kind of neat. So anywho, on top of this, we are going to be looking for hopefully 1 to 2 more coaches, and we're looking to bring that in. Again, I want the student teacher ratio low, and that's going to not only help out with on the field, but off the field too. And if anyone's interested in chaperoning, moms in particular, we were looking for a few chaperones for the women's, sorry, that's my college talk speaking. We are looking for moms to be a chaperone in the girls dorm. If anyone is interested in that, just please give me a call or shoot me a text or an email. Everything will be accommodated. You'll be treated like a coach, with the exception of pay. So other than that, you will have your accommodations taken care of. You'll have your food taken care of. There's a pool for you to sit by if you don't want to enjoy the field sessions. But other than that, it's a good opportunity to be around and to help out. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. What are the next steps? April 1st is payment date. I really appreciate you helping me with that. And I want to keep it as a hard payment date. So when the second comes, if your registration has not been paid for, I will take you off the list because there is a waiting list and I want to make it fair. If you know me, I'm all about being fair and sticking to rules as long as we are cool with the rules we're speaking to. I'm never going to try and be dominant on that case. I don't want to be at all. I just appreciate everyone's agreement and us moving forward with the best efforts to get this done. That said, I'm going to need copies of your medical cards for your children, front and back. If you could email that to me, that would be awesome. In addition to that email, that information, excuse me, if you could help me with your roommates that you would like to room with, or that if you don't have, excuse me, or if you don't know of a roommate right now, just let me know. I'll play the matching game and I'm okay doing that. We're looking for, everyone will have a double and there are a couple of triples. So if people are interested in rooming in a group of 3, I'd love to have that. Actually, it would help out greatly because we are at capacity. And the more people that want to get in a room with 3, and by the way, there's a limited amount of like threesomes, so to speak, with rooms that are that big. I'm not going to force a group of 3 into a double room, if that makes sense from a size perspective, because there's a big difference between the size of a double and a triple room, just to let parents know. I'm also going to need your shirt and shorts sizes this year. We're going to get you guys shorts too. So you guys, campers, are all going to have a long sleeve and a short sleeve training jersey. And you're going to also receive a pair of shorts with all the information, with all the UGKA fun stuff, logos on it. So excited to be giving those out this year. Finally, our next meeting, our final meeting, will be in June. I'm going to basically reintroduce this slide here with a lot more detail. I'm going to speak to also the finalist of coaches. Sorry, I went too far. This finalist list of coaches, excuse me. And I'm also going to speak to what the final steps will be. And those final steps will consist of when to come to the school, when checking in, what does that look like? When checking out, what does that look like? I know I also have to speak to in the questions. I know I'm going to get a couple questions on flight information. We have people in the UGKA or in this group. We have parents locally who have been with me for years that are going to help us pick up and get your children to the camp, to the school. So all we're going to need you to do is work with us on the timing of that. So if anyone is flying into Pittsburgh International Airport, please direct message me. Let me know that. I want to set that up and make sure we're all on the same page. And I'll set up separate meetings in a Zoom format with everybody to make sure everyone's comfortable with what we're going to do moving forward. It worked well last year. And last year, actually, it worked so well. But if you guys remember, for those coming in from Florida, they were supposed to come in at like 3 or 4. They didn't land until I think like midnight or 1 in the morning because of delays with weather. And we still got everyone to campus on time and safely. So anywho, that said, if you guys have questions, come on off mute, fire away. I'm looking forward to having some conversations with you. Honestly, I'm cool with if no one has anything either. At the same time, here's the opportunity, everybody, to ask questions.
How much did we miss? Hi, for the paperwork, including the medical cards, would you like us to email you? Or is there someplace else that we should be sending them?
Email, that's a great question, Kate. Email would be perfect. And the same email you sent in your original paperwork to, info@unitedgkalliance.com, would be the same email address you can forward that to. Thank you, Kate. I did not say that. That's needed. Good call. Other questions? I see returnees here. Carter, what color do you think our jerseys are this year?
Red.
Red. No way.
We were just
Coaches are gonna have
debating whether
white
they were
jerseys, and
different.
we're gonna go.
What?
We're gonna stick with the blue. Yeah, we're gonna stick with that Columbia blue they call it, but I think it reminds me of the tropical ocean. So, anywho, that's what I'm thinking about when I see the jerseys.
Yeah.
Neon yellow. Woo-hoo-hoo. Dang, that's some bright bright colors. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying wow.
Eric, is there going to be medical staff or training staff on site?
100% all the time. Yep. They'll be there with all injuries. They'll deal with any type of ice. We have ice out of both fields. We'll have a trainer on staff. We have 100% access to the Kiski School's facilities. And that it's literally like a college environment from that type of environment. So we have anything you need medically that if we ever need it. And we have the trainer. So yeah. Yes, great question. Great question.
Might be a question for those that have had kids there before. My daughter just always wants to eat something after sessions. So trying to think of, does she need to pack snacks, Gatorade? Like what food, drink wise should she bring?
Yeah, great question. And we are gonna let me rephrase. So yes, bring as much stuff into your that you'd like. There will not be refrigerators in your dorm room. There will be a common refrigerator in the common area of each of the dorms. So think of like your refrigerator in your kitchen as a community refrigerator in the common room. People have brought in college refrigerators and plugged them in their own room, their dorm room, and it's worked out perfectly. So please feel free to do that. Each night, I promise you, kids are ordering food and getting delivery. I contact them before we even arrive, letting them know like, hey, here's what's coming into town. Please staff accordingly right before closing. We don't want them to close up when we're calling with a big order. And that said, yes, we will order pizzas. We will order subs. Their opportunity to eat outside of the cafeteria food, let's call it, is there. Great question, Erica. Thank you.
Andrew just said, bring all the snacks, but the cafeteria food is really good.
Andrew, what's up, man?
Oh, and he said also bring a small fan.
Yeah, there is AC, so it is central air, and but it's dead air because all the windows are going to be shut. You know what I mean? And it's gonna stink like a locker room. So bring the air, bring refreshers, like help your kids out. Pack extra deodorant, like. So help the coaches out with the smell of your children.
New family here. I have a quick question. Speaking of all of that,
Yes.
will there be a list that's sent out of things that they need to bring, like shorts, socks, fan, deodorant?
Great question. And yes, the answer to that is yes. So when we meet in June, I'm going to send the list of like recommended things to bring in addition to check-in details, the specific address, what to look for when checking in. I'm going to hook you up with all that detailed information in addition to what you just said. So yes, you will, and then that'll introduce ourselves to the next Zoom call we have. So you'll get that information You'll be able to hopefully process it, look at it, come back to me saying, Eric, you did not answer this, that, or this. And that's why we're going to have another Zoom call.
Okay,
You can come back
great.
to me and bring those questions. Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to go into the chat while you guys are talking here. Neon yellow. Oh my gosh, Hudson, you're insane. Out of staters, let us know what we can do. Costco run. Yes, please. Last year, that's a great point. I appreciate you saying that. Guys, that hot pink. Oh my gosh, we're getting worse. I'm seeing it. But we're like, if those coming from out of state, you're gonna be packing your car. Some of you are gonna be flying in. You're gonna want munchies. You're gonna want Gatorade. You're gonna want water for your dorm rooms. We will organize the purchase and delivery of those snacks, those goodies to your suntan lotion. You can't bring that on a plane, right? Like we'll buy all that and we'll get it from a Costco in bulk. And if you just help us with the delivery of that, or let me rephrase, the order of what you need, we'll purchase all of that. And I appreciate the locals in Pittsburgh saying that, because that's something that worked out really well last year and was really, really appreciated by those traveling. Oh, I'm going back to the chat. Hot pink. Oh my gosh. Carter says hot pink. Carter, you're lucky I never liked your style, unfortunately. So I'm going to go no on that one, buddy. Other questions?
As someone who has a preteen boy, are they gently reminded about things like cleanliness? Yeah, I'm worried about a week without a shower.
No. We'll take care of all of that. If any, because it impacts us too. No, and to be honest with you, the one thing that we're going to focus on too, and I probably should have gotten into a little bit more detail with it, but I do want to go back to like kids being kids. We are going to speak to them about that stuff as like again, essentially we'll speak to like goalkeeper gold glove wear and how to take care of them. How do you take care of your gloves? And it's a parent moment here. This is me having 2 teenage boys right now. We're going to compare it to taking care of yourself and making sure the old test is like, you're good, right? Like we do speak to those life lessons. And I think that's part of soccer. I think that's part of this coach child relationship. I bring you back to this agenda because 2 things I want to bring up in regards to not only one was the social, the other I forgot to bring up was pool aerobics. They have a big pool there. And one thing we do in the middle of the day, you'll notice we're not on the field. And any of the days, we try not to be on the field between like 12 and 3. It's end of July. It's potentially 90 plus and humid. We try to be in a library, hence the classroom sessions. And we try to be in a pool to kind of relieve the kids of that. We do the pool aerobics is fun because again, it gives kids a workout. It helps them move their muscles in a different format. It also at the end, it ends up in a belly flop in the biggest splash contest. So we want these kids having fun. We want these kids enjoying themselves, but they're also going to learn. They're going to walk out of there a better goalkeeper. They're going to walk out of there technically. They're going to be sharp. They're going to work all week on their technique. Tactically, they're going to be learning specific in-game moments. And I think that's the beauty to goalkeeping. There's so many in-game moments that are unique, but also the same. So we'll speak to one-on-ones and the different types of one-on-ones because there's so many of them. Crossing, cutback from corner kicks, service from 30 yards out, on the ground through balls. Like again, there's so many types of scenarios, and we're going to get to all of them. We're going to do our best to, and we're also going to speak to them in a classroom setting, and then after the classroom setting, apply them in the field. And I think that's the best part because it allows the kids to understand everything, and then when we go to the field, let's apply it. And truthfully, that's the college setting. For any of you looking at playing college, there's a ton of video analysis and there's a ton of learning through that in game. I'm sorry. And in a, like a learning environment like school. That's part of college soccer. And we're going to introduce them to that too. If anyone has any questions, guys, in the next literally anytime, and I mean this sincerely, contact me directly. There's my cell phone. There's my email address. I'm expecting me to be talking to a lot of you over the next couple days, right up until April 1st. I appreciate your cooperation with that deadline. It worked really well last year, and I see it working really well now. Majority of you have already paid, which I think that's awesome. So thank you for that. If anyone still needs to pay, or for those that do, there was a link sent in with the email that was sent today. Please just click on that. Payment information, registration information is right there. And I will follow up with one more email on later this week, probably on Thursday, just as a final reminder for those that did not pay.
Hey, Eric,
Yes.
it's Carrie. I have a question for you. See if Andrew obviously had so much fun last year. He cannot wait to come back.
Awesome.
And we are one of the ones coming in from Florida. So it's his special trip every summer to come up now. What do you think about a private Facebook group or something to put together for this group going, so that there's things coming up or travel coordination? I feel like so much of it comes back on you, and I know how busy you are. Is that something you'd be open to, so we can, as parents, kind of have a group to throw things out? So if there's little questions that come up on the way.
That almost sounds like I set that question up to get me out of a lot of responsibility. Like I paid you $20 to like say that. What a great idea. Thank you.
But I do
I
think
can
that's
appreciate
helpful,
that.
right? Especially from like moms think of different things than dads.
Yeah.
Like, where you go to camp or whatever. But if you be open to that, I know there's other groups that have just like our kids have gone to other camps where they've had a
Yeah.
Facebook group ahead of time.
I'm totally open to that. And whether it's a Facebook group, a WhatsApp group, like I am keen on starting that and like adding an admin and letting someone just let people. Absolutely. And whatever that format is, whatever is easiest for you guys, that's most convenient for you, let me know. I don't want to dictate that. I'd rather you guys tell me what's the best way to have that ongoing communication with each other. I'd be totally fine with that. That'd be great, actually.
Well, since I opened my mouth, I'll help you. So just
I know, right? Like, bye.
All right. Well, let me know if that works, if that helps, especially for everybody coming in from everywhere. And then, the coordination of all this stuff. It's something
So you know what I'll do, guys, if for anyone who still needs to reply, and I'm going to send a follow-up email tomorrow, by the way, I'm going to send like, here's what I still need. Here's what we still need. On that list, I will ask, WhatsApp. Is WhatsApp a good communication mechanism to just start that and kind of keep everyone in like a group? If you want in, just say yes or no. If you don't want in, no big deal. But if yes, maybe that's a place where we can start to just have those ongoing conversations around that organization. Perfect. I like that. Thank you. I'm going to write that down right now. Other questions? Last chance. Otherwise, I'm going to pick on one of my favorite students. Carter, give me a question. Come on, buddy. You knew it was coming. Look at him.
You said not me.
There's Matthew. What's up, buddy? Anything you want to ask, Mr. Matthew? One of our legendary nasty boys coming back next year. I like it. Yes. Guys, this week has turned into like the first year. We only did 3 days and we kind of experimented, and it was a crazy success. Like literally, like we sent out a survey. You have to add more days, And so we went to 4 days last year, and we're doing the same this year. We asked for feedback last year. Everyone said more days. And we didn't do it. And so we didn't do it to spite the kids. But at the same time, the demand in this, like how people are responding to this opportunity has been awesome. And just the commitment of the coaches, the kids are all in. It's really a fun time, and they learn a ton. And we've always received positive feedback. If there's anything that we can do to help your kids with this, please let me know. Whatever adjustment it is, transition to a transition to a residential camp for the first time ever. Like, some of these kids are going through that, and we'll help them with that. Like, that's what we're here for, to make it easy for your children. The same time, it's age appropriate for everybody. And if there's any feedback that you can give us, we're always open ears.
All right, my one question I came up with.
Oh, I stalled long enough to let you go. Go ahead, Carter. Let's hear it, buddy.
It's not really a question, but I saw you cut your hair.
I did. What do you think?
Yeah.
But you know who likes it the most?
Who?
My wife.
You don't have to worry about letting it down this summer.
That's right. That's right. That's right. For those that don't know, this thing was like 2 feet and long and donated about a couple months ago, and now it's back to I guess you call it a corporate haircut. Which, anyway. Thank you, Carter. Put me on the spot. You turned that around pretty well. Guys, thank you very much. Have an awesome night. If anyone needs anything answered, you have my contact information. Expect an email tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.